The impact of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce has rippled far beyond their own personal lives, affecting not only their professional trajectories but also the deeply personal identities of their children. In the years since Jolie first filed for divorce in 2016, their 6 children, Maddox, Pax, Zahara, Shiloh, and twins Knox and Vivian, have been at the center of a highly sensitive and often scrutinized custody battle. As the legal dust begins to settle with the finalization of the divorce in December 2024, what remains is a complex tapestry of emotions, decisions, and long-term consequences that continue to shape the family dynamic. The children who once shared the unified public identity of Jolie Pitt are now forging their own paths, making deeply personal decisions that reflect not only their current feelings but also their lived experiences during one of Hollywood's most public family separations. Shiloh's decision to legally drop Pitt from her name and officially become Shiloh Jolie stands as one of the most symbolic gestures to come from the aftermath of the divorce. It reportedly followed years of internal struggle, during which Shiloh quietly supported her mother while trying to maintain a balanced relationship with her father. But sources close to the family suggest that over time, the tension between Brad and the older children, particularly those most affected by the earlier years of parental conflict, grew more pronounced. Zahara, a student at Spelman College, was recently introduced during a sorority ceremony as Zahara Marley Jolie, another move that made headlines and sparked conversation about the emotional distance some of the children may feel from their father. Vivian, the youngest daughter, has also reportedly opted to go by Vivian Jolie in her theater work, a choice that reflects her growing independence and perhaps quietly her allegiance. For Jolie, these choices made by her children carry emotional weight but are also seen as affirmations of their autonomy. She has long advocated for her children's right to express themselves freely and make decisions that empower them, even when such choices may stir public attention or private discomfort. Friends of the actress say she supports each of her children, unconditionally offering them the emotional space to navigate their identities in their own time and on their own terms. While she has not spoken publicly about the surname changes, insiders note that she views them as part of the healing process, something that underscores the years of emotional strain that each child has endured, often behind closed doors. For Brad Pitt, the shift in how some of his children are identifying themselves has reportedly been a source of both pain and reflection. Sources close to the actor suggest he remains hopeful that with time he can rebuild relationships that have grown distant or fractured during the years of conflict. He has expressed a strong desire to reconnect and repair, particularly with the older children. Pitt is said to be deeply aware of the emotional scars that the divorce and custody battles have left on his family and has taken steps in therapy and personal development to address past missteps. His relationship with Knox, the youngest son, is reportedly more intact, with the two maintaining regular contact and shared interests in architecture and design. However, his connection with Maddox and Pax remains strained, with limited communication and unresolved emotional distance that may take years, if not longer, to mend. The public unraveling of the Jolie Pitt family has underscored just how challenging it is to navigate parenthood and partnership under the microscope of fame. As both Jolie and Pitt continue forward separately, the long shadow of their marriage continues to linger in subtle and profound ways, most notably in the lives and identities of their children, who are now emerging into adulthood with a complex legacy. Their decisions to redefine themselves by distancing from the Pitt name are not just administrative. They are personal statements born out of experience, memory, and an evolving understanding of self and family in the wake of a divorce that reshape the lives of everyone involved. Despite the finalization of their divorce in December 2024, the complex legal entanglements between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are far from over, with one of the most significant points of contention being the ownership of the renowned French estate, Château Miraval. The property, which includes not only a luxurious estate but also a highly profitable vineyard, has become symbolic of the unresolved tension that still lingers between the former couple. Chateau Miraval was once a place of romance and unity. For Pitt and Jolie, it's where they married in 2014 and spent time as a family, building memories with their children. However, the estate has now turned into a battleground, legally and emotionally, as both parties fight over control and rightful ownership. The dispute began escalating when Jolie sold her share of the estate to Tenute del Mondo, a subsidiary of the Russian-owned Stoli Group. Pitt responded with a lawsuit alleging that Jolie acted without his consent and in violation of their agreement that neither party would sell their interest in the property without mutual approval. According to Pitt's legal team, Jolie's sale to Yuri Shefler, a Russian oligarch with a reputation for aggressive business practices, not only jeopardized the estate's future, but was also an intentional act of retaliation during an already fraught divorce process. Jolie, on her part, has maintained that she sold her stake in an effort to move on from a painful chapter in her life, claiming that holding on to the estate was no longer emotionally or financially viable. What makes the Chateau Miraval case even more complicated is its dual nature, as both a sentimental symbol and a multi-million-dollar business venture. The vineyard, Miraval Wines, has become one of the most successful rosé producers in the world, making the stakes extraordinarily high. Court documents and public statements reveal that Pitt has remained deeply involved in the development and branding of the winery, reportedly investing substantial time, money, and creative input into building the brand's identity. His legal filings emphasize that the sale of Jolie's share threatens the integrity of the business and its long-term viability under his stewardship. The case has moved through multiple jurisdictions, involving not only French courts but also legal proceedings in the United States, further complicating and prolonging an already bitter dispute. Meanwhile, as the legal wrangling over Chateau Miraval continues, a surprising development has caught the attention of Hollywood insiders and fans alike: a reported $60 million offer for Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie to reunite on screen. The proposed project is a World War II epic set in Cannes, a poignant backdrop given the couple's personal history in France. The producers behind the film are banking on the undeniable chemistry the two shared in their 2005 film Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which not only turned them into a real-life couple but also became a box office hit. The idea of reuniting Pitt and Jolie on screen, especially in a dramatic period piece with emotional weight, has generated intense interest. Yet, despite the financial allure and potential critical acclaim such a project might bring, the question remains whether the former spouses are emotionally and professionally prepared to collaborate again. For Jolie, the decision would not be a simple matter of career opportunity. She has made it clear in various interviews that her experiences during and after the marriage to Pitt have left lasting emotional scars. Any potential reunion on screen would likely require a considerable amount of reconciliation and mutual respect that has, at times, seemed out of reach. Still, those close to Jolie say she is not entirely closed off to the idea, particularly if the project aligns with her artistic vision and offers a meaningful narrative. As a filmmaker and humanitarian, Jolie has shown increasing interest in projects that carry social, political, or historical weight, and a World War II drama could very well fall within those interests. Pitt, for his part, has taken a more measured approach to the speculation. While he has not publicly commented on the offer, those within his inner circle suggest that he is open to challenging creative opportunities, particularly those that could allow him to push artistic boundaries. Still, the emotional toll of working alongside Jolie again, particularly in such a high-stakes context, may be more than either party is willing to endure. Their shared history, including years of legal battles, emotional distance from some of their children, and conflicting narratives in the public eye, creates a minefield of potential complications. Outside of the cinematic speculation and legal entanglements, both Pitt and Jolie continue to carve out new paths in their personal and professional lives. Jolie remains deeply involved in her advocacy work, focusing on refugee rights, gender-based violence, and environmental issues through her foundation and partnerships with international organizations. She has also resumed her creative pursuits, with her upcoming film Couture set during Paris Fashion Week generating early buzz. The film, which Jolie is both directing and producing, is said to explore themes of fashion, power, and personal transformation, areas that resonate with her own narrative of reinvention and resilience. Friends say Jolie is channeling her energy into projects that allow her to grow creatively while also making a broader impact in the world. Pitt, meanwhile, has been investing in his own form of healing and forward momentum, following the completion of the Formula One-themed film F1 Seats in Abu Dhabi, Pitt is now preparing for his role in Heart of the Beast, an action drama that he is also co-producing. He continues to build his production company, Plan B, into a powerhouse for independent and award-winning films, working behind the scenes to support innovative storytelling. On a personal level, Pitt's relationship with jewelry designer Ines de Ramon has been a source of stability and affection. The couple, who have kept their romance relatively private, are said to enjoy a low-key lifestyle filled with mutual respect and shared interests in design, wellness, and travel. Despite the calm exterior, Pitt has not lost sight of the emotional consequences of his divorce and its effect on his children. He is reportedly making concerted efforts to reconnect with them, particularly the younger ones, by prioritizing quality time, therapy, and honest communication. While the older children remain somewhat estranged, Pitt is hopeful that time and consistent effort will rebuild those bridges. It's a slow, uncertain process, but one he remains committed to. For both Pitt and Jolie, the finalization of their divorce represents not a resolution, but rather a new phase in an ongoing journey of personal growth, co-parenting, and professional evolution. Their story is one that continues to captivate the public, not just because of their celebrity status, but because it mirrors the very real complexities of love, loss, and the struggle to move forward after heartbreak. As they pursue separate futures, the legacies of their union, and the consequences of its unraveling, remain etched in their careers, their children's identities, and the public consciousness. Whether or not they ever share a film set again, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie will forever be linked in Hollywood history, and the unfolding chapters of their lives continue to shape not only their individual narratives, but the cultural lens through which celebrity relationships are viewed.